It was a windy day on the Great Plains, folks. Today, winds were just blowing out of everywhere. Got a little warm, up to 86, kind of hot for this time of year. The crazy thing is tomorrow about 5 p.m. it's going to start cooling off. Saturday's high, 38 degrees. So we go from almost 88 degrees to 38 degrees in less than 48 hours. Kansas weather, huh? So, I haven't made a video in a while. Been having a little family problem with my mother. She had a stroke. So we think she had a stroke last week, a week ago yesterday. Was in the hospital for a couple days. Went to a rehab center on Monday. Tuesday she did her rehab and all that. Wednesday she couldn't get oxygen right, wasn't comprehending things correctly, so on and so forth. So they moved her to another hospital, here in Wichita, and so she went to that hospital there. She's there now since last night. And so she's getting more oxygen, or she's getting ICU treatment at this hospital instead of rehab treatment at the other hospital, which was a rehab hospital, which I have nothing against any of the doctors or the nurses or the nurse aides that have helped her so far. You know, I'm not mad at any of them. So me and my sisters are working on that situation at the moment, and it's kind of troublesome and hard to deal with and sad, all those things all combined at the same time. So tonight's like really the first night in over 2 weeks that I've had a chance to actually sit down and pack a pipe and sit outside and have a pipe and just relax for a little bit. She's at home, or she's at the hospital, at the ICU hospital. They're going to do some tests tomorrow to find out what exactly was missed, I guess. I don't want to say that because I don't think anything was missed. I just think that she's 66. She smoked a pack and a half a day since she was 17, 18, all the way up until she was in her probably 59, and then she took a couple years off with an electronic cigarette, which isn't a lot better, but it's a little bit better, and then she started smoking again, a pack and a half a day, 4 or 5 years ago. So I mean, she's she's not a healthy person. She does exercise, she doesn't eat well. Pipe went out. So I mean, it's all a matter of perspective, I guess you'd say. It's all a matter of perspective, which in reality isn't everything all a matter of perspective. But one of the first things she asked me and my sister, not asked but stated after she had her stroke, was, I don't understand why I had a stroke. And both of us looked at each other and we like, really, you smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes a day, you don't exercise, you're lethargic, you stay in the chair or on the couch all day long, watch TV, you don't get out. We're surprised that the stroke didn't happen sooner. But we're not mean about it to her or anything like that. Like I said, it's all a matter of perspective, all a matter of how things are perceived by, you know, I can't judge someone else's health and they can't judge my health. I'm not a health professional, and I wouldn't expect someone who's not a health professional to judge my health. But anyway, she's pretty lethargic on her left side. She had a right side stroke, which means her left side of her body's affected. So she has a little bit of drooping in the face, a little bit of slurred speech. Her right arm doesn't work very well at all. She has a little bit better control over her leg and foot than her arm, so that's good. So, you know, all in all, she's still alive, so thank God for that. She's still, uh, well, in June, her and I were thinking about, well, in June, my landlord's selling the house that I live in. In June, I was going to move into a hotel or a motel until her lease was up next January, February. But that's all changed now, because we don't know if she's going to need assisted living care, nursing home care, uh, in-home care, what kind of care she's going to need. Because my sister and I, we can't afford to take off work to care for her full time. And if she fell while we were gone, you know, it would be, you know, if she didn't call 911 or have a life alert thing, then she could sit there until I got home from work at 11 o'clock at night, or she was with my sister until her or her partner got home in the evening. And if she fell during the middle of the night, I can't hear out of this ear because I had the tumor in this ear, and I usually sleep with this ear into the pillow, and I can't hear that well. If she fell in the middle of the night, I wouldn't be able to hear, you know. These are all things that I think about the last week. You know, what do I need to do to get her stable, to get her home, to get things arranged. My sister and her partner have agreed to take her in, which was never, you know, okay. We'll get the extra room in our house ready for mother, and we'll get her moved in. It was never a question of that, you know. Never a question of that, so we're not worried about that part of it. What we are worried about is the kind of care that my sister, working a first shift job, me working a second shift job, her partner working a split shift job, can offer or provide for my mother, you know, and her brothers. And my cousins and all that, you know. If we decide to put her in an assisted living or a nursing home kind of situation, it would be the first time since one of my great aunts have gone into a nursing home that anyone in our family has gone into a nursing home or an assisted living situation. So I don't look forward to making this decision. Thank God I don't have to do it by myself. I got family to help me. I just don't want to be the first jerk in the family to make this decision and put his mother in a nursing home, you know. But, you know, I look at my uncles, who, my mother's 66, my uncle 68, and the other uncle's 69. And so I look at them, you know, like she can't come live with you because if she fell, none of you could lift her. Not even you and your wives could lift her to get her back up right. You know, it's a matter of care, and it's a hard decision that needs to be made. and I'm not looking forward to making it. I'm looking forward to talking to her about it. It isn't. It is a decision that's going to be made in the future, in a little while, but it's still a decision that's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard discussed topic around the house, or around the hospital bed, or wherever this is going to happen. You know, so she got at least another week in the hospital. Then she got 2 to 3 weeks at the rehab center, and from there we got to find out what we're going to do. She has a lease on her apartment, and I got to go talk, after we figure this all out, I got to go talk to the leasing company. It's one of the big corporations, and I got to say, you know, she had a stroke, and we're going to have to stick her either. She's got to have 24-hour care, and that's just obvious. And we're going to have to stick her either in a nursing home, assisted living, or in-home health care. But she's going to need no steps in the apartment, which there's a step leading into the apartment. She's going to have a walk-in shower, which the shower is a bathtub, and you'd have to step into it and all this. I'm hoping that if I approach them with this and say, if we could just get out of the lease with no breaking the lease early part of it, they'll let me out of the lease without being real stingy about it, you know. That's what I'm hoping. You know, I don't think it'll become reality that way, but that's what I'm hoping. I also have a good friend that's a lawyer, that maybe if it goes beyond that, I can get her to send a letter on a lawyer's letterhead and all that. That'll maybe get them to change their mind. If it all comes to that, we haven't got that far yet. You know, this is all stuff that floats around in my head that I got to get ready. Along with, I got to get all my stuff out of this house that I live in now by the beginning of June. I'm moving into a hotel, so I'm not downsizing. I'm minimalizing everything that I own. It's a lot of stuff to take in these next less than 60 days to get all this stuff arranged and ready to go. And where is it going? What am I keeping? What am I selling? What of hers do I need to get into the storage unit? What does she doesn't want to keep? Where's she going to go? How much is that going to cost? How much are we going to be out? How much is her insurance going to cover? How much, etc., 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 etc. You know, it's a big pain, and it's not something that I wish upon anybody. It's not something that anyone should have to go through, and I'm sure people have. If I could move her into, if I could get a 2-bedroom apartment, or a 2-bedroom house, or a 2-bedroom anything, and move her in with me, and know that I could get her the care that she needs while I'm at work, I would do that. But I can't. I can't do that right now without more information. I guess we're really early into the beginning of this whole stages of what's going on. So we don't know exactly what the future will hold on her side of it. I mean, my side's easy. I got to be out of this house by June 3rd. June 1st and 2nd, I'm having a yard sale, sell off the stuff that I don't want to take with me. And then I'm going to move everything that's left over either into a storage unit, donate it to whoever, and I'm going to move into a motel for a while. And I'm thinking about making a video series about that whole experience of living, you know, in a hotel compared to living in a house, how that affects my mentality, how it affects life, you know, how it affects relationships, etc., etc. It's all, a lot of things are up in the air, and a lot of things are strange right now, because I don't know what will take care of her needs, and what will have to be sacrificed on my sisters and my behalf to make everything work out right, and I don't mind sacrificing anything. I mean, this is the woman that raised me, you know. So that's not a question. It's that sacrifice. It's just a matter of how do I justify to my family and myself putting my mother into a facility that I know she'll get good care in, and that she'll get looked after. But but she'll not be completely happy because of where she's at. And quality of life issues. It's, you know, this is the stuff that's keeping me awake at night right now. It's a hard decision, and hard decisions that my sister and I have to make. So if I make a few videos that I'm a little emotional, a little weepy, I go a little long, I apologize. But I do treat my YouTube channel in the pipe smoking community as my therapy. I don't pay to go to the therapist. Not necessarily that I don't believe in it. If you need therapy and you can afford it, go to it. I'm sure it works great. I just don't. And but I treat my YouTube pipe community friends and the people who watch my videos as my therapist, and just talking helps a little bit. Not necessarily on this problem at this very moment in time, but it will, in the end, I believe, work itself out somehow. I just don't know how yet. Anyway, I'm going to end this one. I'm just going to end it. There's no need to be jolly with Popeye and all that tonight, so I'll talk to y'all later.